other than a FaZe win. So, I mean, I appreciate it, Jesse, an awful lot, but they should sleepwalk their way through this. Don't count out Los. Los is a great team. There we go. Countless teams. W7M was one of those teams when nobody even heard the name Herds or KZ. Because of that, it means I don't have to eat the hat. I think that's really what, I think that undoes the eating the hat thing.
All right, well, FaZe can do a bit of trolling themselves. We're swinging in front of the Clash, and they actually lose man advantage. As Souls will also go down in the midst of this, so we got a scrappy first round, Parker.
I mean, Cyber's coming back to the site now. Up fish stairs. Dark is ready for that, and almost gets another as well. Vidiking in a 1v4. FaZe got the kill onto Dash. Sitting there looking through the smoke, getting a glimpse of the yellow outline. Nitro Cell will go. It gets shot. Amazing work, and Nuxka gets out of there alive. Very well done. No explosion to be had. 9 players now alive as Handy takes down Dash. Dash, again, has been the sacrificial lamb, the only player on Los to die so far. Will the rest of them follow him into the afterlife, or will they situate themselves, waiting ever so patiently? Down goes Perez, so the great player from earlier today will be no more. Dark joins shortly thereafter, then Nuxka, and this might end up being a flawless round. It will be. All 5 players from FaZe Clan surviving the test.
To be in a gunfight here with Handy, deals good damage, but doesn't find the kill yet.
Andy will find the follow-up. You almost cast or cursed him here, and we could have yet another now as Solid Snake is in front of him. Handy getting very brazen all the while. The rest of Los coming on in. Handy, the only one to die, losing his duel. And Perez, hot off that kill, will now find himself in a 1v4. Done. Now, you're in the lower bracket final. Which of these 2 teams will emerge victorious? Perez still trying to scope him out now, moving over towards Fish and
that too. So really the util game coming in big for FaZe Clan, and that start to look towards Connector to try to take this space now and hopefully mount to push in from there with their Capitao and Grim util.
A very familiar spot for Cyber. Cyber, not just a gun. He's getting calls from the Pulse right next to him and will be able to handle any flashes or smokes that come in due to the fact he's got those smart goggles. Nuxka makes his way into IT. He's gone. Dafo's gone. Another flawless round incoming for FaZe Clan. Issuing a correction. 4 still alive for FaZe as Cyber gets taken down. Dash on the board. 30 seconds left. A very unfavorable position for Dash to be in. He might be able to pick off one more, but this will be a test of reflexes now as he sees the mute of Vidiking, eliminates him. He's bought himself some time, but not very much. 20 seconds on the board now for him to vault on over. He does not have the defuse kit, trying for the fake out to run towards the door, and they do not buy it whatsoever. Just had a good read there that you saw that they might be able to capitalize off of. Another E1D will go. It is capitalized off of, but maybe in the opposite direction. Dafo dies at the hands of FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan been very good with their opening pick so far today. Jesse, they will lose Handy in trade, so Los draws even with a minute to go.
Yeah, brutal that he goes.
He is retrievable, Jesse.
No.
Oh, no. No way. Oh, it's a freebie from Souls. A collab on the Dark and Dash. Souls has been so terrific today. He's hoping for one on the main floor, but the last 2 seem to be in the basement, and he will need to drop even further. They are getting fed to the FaZe machine. Perez will need to clutch out in a 1v2. He starts by eliminating KDS, Cyber, and Souls still in front of him, and you know Souls is miles away. Perez does hold the defuse kit, running out of time. Cyber will seal the deal, and FaZe are...
IT is open, Connector is open, and they've got 2 shields to try to work themselves some ground here on the mid floor. There is the opening pick they've been hunting for, Parker. Finally, Handy takes a step too far.
Use some hard destruction to open up lines of sight, and they seem to work against him as he's now been dropped. Dafo eliminating Cyber will give the numbers officially to Los by 2. Perez needs to be retrieved at this point in time. They'll flush Souls out of his position on rafters. Next one up is Dafo to sweep through this part of the map. Vidiking drops, and this top floor has been a bit of a tricky one for FaZe. KDS in a 1v5. Perez still bleeding out, but recoverable. That leaves 4 bodies up with guns in hand. And he's got Dark's attention. Looks the wrong way. Thank you very, very much. Quite a bit for FaZe, I would be saying. That's probably all she wrote.
They've also got the smoke coming through from the Capitao and the Glass, and an opening. Handy just walks his way up the Aqua stairs. Daffodil's investigating. He says, I wonder what could be over here. It is unfortunately a bullet straight from Handy, so that's now a man advantage, plus strong utility, and a double from Handy.
This is that point in the mid-round where things get a little bit tricky if you don't have good map control. They're doing some damage as two separate players from Los are over on that fish side. Nuxka, the only one with the kill so far, and now Souls is getting called into action. He's expecting the Warden to swing. A bit of a messy fight. He takes down Dash, cannot get Nuxka. This is very good for Los. They're rebuffing this advance. They are pinned down in the A-bomb site, so B-bomb site control is full for FaZe Clan. There will be a late flank from Nuxka, leaving Dark in a position upstairs, watching Rafters dropped, and it all comes down to Nuxka. He had gone for that late flank. He thinks otherwise. Now back up top to taking
the correct measures to make sure that there can be nobody inside of storage. Daffodil is still inside of there, so they're actually going to go a little bit deeper. They're inside of Nano. They're starting to take good space in the basement because they can't go for a default plant without that top control.
Got the attention of the Blackbeard. What a shot by Perez. My God, there's a good reason why so many people talk about him. Nuxka as well, trying to deal with the Blackbeard of Souls. Most of those bullets bouncing away. Cyber might be retrievable. It's hard to say, but Souls has found himself in the site with the defuse kit. He's got a read on one. Out goes the nade. He's given his position away. There's no way he gets the Azami, right? How many clutches can Souls pull off? That is the real question. Isolates the Azami with an nade, expecting Dark to get a little bit closer. All the while, Nuxka's being very patient far back. There is a drone watching that point, and I'm sure somebody's watching it. You see the pings go out. A minute to go for Souls. Is Los about to find out what Team Liquid had to endure through multiple maps? No, Nuxka reads that one well. Not a lot of intel for Souls, and he was the one.
Exactly what was missing for this hold.
Upside down repel. Vidiking knows this area. FaZe knows this area decently well. Daffo with the leadoff pick. Down goes Handy. Along with the flames, the gas will go out. Answered by a smoke that will obscure the advance in electrical. Cyber's not far removed with Souls standing next to him. Vidiking still guarding that position. And there goes Dark, who thought he was playing relatively secure on Rafters. No, that will not come to pass. Perez will die shortly thereafter. FaZe now with the numbers advantage. Vidiking has taken full control of Rafters, likely no intel for Los, so this could be quite a surprise for them. Souls goes down to Nuxka. Nuxka with that SMG paying off very effectively. Vidiking and KDS doubling up, and Nuxka will be the last man standing. Tying Perez with 7 kills on the team. Make that 8, a beautiful shot on the KDS. A second just out of reach. Cyber getting the defuse kit down as Vidiking covers. Usually it's the
3 rounds and force us all to be wrong on our assumptions. So far on this defense, I'd say it's gone pretty well. You've wasted almost 90 seconds, and hey, you even got the opening pick. Daffo swings off of that Fenrir mine to take down Vidiking.
Killing them, and last I checked, there's no hitbox in the end of a shotgun. Try as you might, Handy. I'm sure those bullets would do some damage to your hands, but not enough to kill you. Another kill will come in from Los. Souls also potentially living on borrowed time. KDS is gone. Cyber pivoting, getting the first kill for his team. A strong gust of wind would knock over the 2 remaining players on FaZe, Jesse. This is not an ideal spot to be in. Los will very likely take this round. FaZe Clan still sitting on map point. They've got plenty of time to make this work. He's got to get through this round. Looks like it'll come sooner rather than later. Cyber last man standing now is a great crossfire from Los. Catches Souls, and Cyber looking to puncture from behind. Hold on a second here. 3 kills for Cyber with 30 seconds left. He needs to find Nuxka and he needs to find Dark. That is going to be a challenge, especially given one of them is a pulse. If you play this correctly, Nuxka, you just need to find where Cyber is coming from. Feed that information to Dark. Shotgun in hand for Nuxka. 2 shots right now with no reload, so Nuxka cannot miss this. Cyber doesn't know that they're both to his left. He might actually get the Azami here. No, Dark, the better shot. Los
hiding behind that Kiba barrier for safety.
Ooh, Perez dangerously low and taking some damage. There he goes, finished off by KDS. Cyber still in a very advantageous spot. Another could quickly follow, and if that's the case, things will go very bad for Los. Souls is hoping to exploit all the chaos, and he might just find it. Look at this patience. The castle might have an idea. He sure does now. Handy and Souls with 2 kills. Daffo with 1. Still the numbers favor FaZe Clan in a 3v2. He's taking some damage. Don't want to stack up too much. Down goes Nuxka to KDS, and oh boy, Jesse, I do not feel very good about this. A great effort from Los, that's for sure. It all rests on Dafo pulling off a 1v3 clutch, or else they lose their map to FaZe Clan, and he's not able to do it. Vidiking gets... Oh. I didn't mean you, and I didn't mean literally.
As well to try to enable his hop in to games. They're going to be hunting down the players that are roaming on this bottom floor. Cyber has a lot of eyes his way.
And Souls will start things off, clearing Dafo again. These opening picks for FaZe have been terrific across the board. Handy has his hands full. He somehow manages to beat the Blackbeard. He's got Cyber not too far off, so the attention from Los is in multiple directions. Out will go a Deathmark. It'll hunt down Handy in his position. That's just one player you need to be aware of. Perez has been the star of the show for Los so far. Can he follow up on any of this intel? No. He sees Souls, does not win the engagement. Mira, 8. Look at that, Jesse. Still over 75% of her HP. That is a heck of a place to be. And now it's up to Dash and Dark with 90 seconds to go. The good thing about those death marks, Jesse, they work both ways. So Cyber knows exactly where Dark is. He finds Dash, though, leaving Dark. I'll have the next minute and 20 seconds to settle it down.
He's hoping FaZe will swing into him, but they've been very cautious so far. Just as I say it, but will have to fight this incursion all by himself there as the jump in comes from the Blackbeard. He wins the first fight, and also the teammate from below. Vidiking's got the vert angle to make sure it is no more than that. They take down KDS Parker, but they pay heavily for that.
Oof. Perez with that 417, while you don't see the Twitch run this gun anymore, you forget that it's still an absolute powerhouse of a weapon. And I mean, Cyber finds that out to figure this one out. Dash has the defuse kit. So at some point, being on that top floor, he will need to drop. It really hinges on Perez winning this engagement, but they're both rats. They're fighting on the ground. Handy wins that because he has the M870 in hand, a perplexing weapon to deal with at a pro level. Very seldom seen. Out will come the sidearm. Can he find his third kill against Dash? Dash knocking at this bar door. This Los team might need a drink after this matchup, Jesse. And while Dash is staring down the place to get it if needed. It's prolonging the inevitable. FaZe Clan with 3 players, none of them really moving an inch. Vidiking pops up. There we go.
Their opponent enough, make some chaos. They could still get a plant down.
Oh, here he comes, and there he goes. Right through the hatch, and goodbye. Handy punishing Dark. Read that one like a book. It really just comes down to duels, too. They are missing most of their shots. Again, strategy-wise, you need to be able to land your shots. Dafo understood that. Slow's team is very close to the bomb site. Are they able to make anything with it? That is the question. Dafo dies, so now Nuxka will be the only one to watch Dash should that diffuse kick get planted. FaZe Clan still have control from above, so it's been a bit of a role reversal. Dash on the board. Nuxka's gone. Vidiking having a terrific day. My goodness.
They have a second set of smokes in that. Maybe you can do something with the glass. Maybe you can do...
Missing their shots. The previous round was a great example of it. They actually had the read and the jump on FaZe Clan, but they could not land their shots, and sometimes that's all that matters. What can they do here? Dash exploiting a weakness, but Vidiking has been the king of this top floor. The bomb site's actually up here, so it's one guy. That allows the other 3 to find themselves in more favorable positions. Perez is just so good. Dafo will give Los the advantage. This timeout is working so effectively, and now Souls, the player who was isolated downstairs, no real impact on the round, will have to stop this. Good news for him. Nuxka and Perez, very low on HP. That Roni doesn't do a lot of damage, but 1 or 2 bullets will be all it takes. The problem is that the cross is being held in the window to his right, and that is enough. Dafo
just using his crossbow, so he gets a bit of a timing there, and Cyber does escape.
Vidiking's been sensational, but he just stands still as he gets assassinated by Nuxka. Look at that visual inside of the lobby, and Los is finding so much value here. Now goes Handy. Things are a bit troubling for FaZe Clan. They had a terrific start, but the last round and a half has been abnormally poor for them. Souls and Cyber now, the last 2 standing, outnumbered by FaZe Clan. And on the ground, there's Souls controlling that Scorpion really well, expecting a quicker follow-up on the door. It does not come to be. He'll now rotate into bar, staring at the hatch. He hears them above. Down goes Cyber. Souls will need to clutch out. Another beautiful play. He has no real read on these last 2 players. He's connected on to Perez. They are double stacked, but keep in mind the sidearm from the Deimos does so much damage. Trapped in the back, Souls has to fight his way out of this one. Perez has the defuse kit, but does it himself with gun in hand. 2 in a row for not as successful as the other 3 teams that are going to the major. But they are still major qualifiers, and they are still 5 great players. You cannot allow them to get back into this game, or else...
What? Trying to find this space. 60 seconds to go, and they're yet to find a frag here in round 6.
Upside down repel now is... Oh my, they come to blows. FaZe Clan still with the lead. That's KDS and Daffo off of the board. They trade. There's been a lot of trades here, and Bailiff kills. Don't even get me started. Vidiking dies at the hands of Nuxka, who along with Dark will need to win the round to tie things up for Los. Or this comeback will have been good enough for 2 rounds to maybe situate themselves on the other side of Chalet in a favorable spot. Dark gets caught out by Soul. Cyber grabs Nuxka, and the first half is in the book with FaZe Clan. Very much. Yeah, this could be a defining moment for this Los team. In Pyjamas, FURIA's new roster.
Here in games, and this has really been the first point of contact. Perez struggling to stay alive, but finds the opening pick.
This Thorn, mighty, mighty good. Pick rate up quite high, and look at that intel gained from this solid snake. So Cyber will have to jump on in and hope that the Thorn is not as accurate as could be. Down goes Dash to Vidiking. Dash having a bit of a rough day, but again, on the roll, you expect that. The remainder of Perez now finished off. Vidiking clearing the way for Cyber to get into the map. Vidiking still holding court now inside a lobby, staring at the double door. Also at the kitchen door. Daffo is not that far away. Softwall could go in a hurry to the TCSG. And there we go over towards kitchen, but Vidiking is in hot pursuit. Daffo gets them both. My goodness. A 2v2. KDS and Souls still standing tall for FaZe Clan. They've got Dark caught in a corner who'll have to fight his way out. He manages to do just that. Souls foregoing the F2 for the 417, and Daffo with his 2.
Is in a good spot to isolate these picks, frankly.
Know exactly where he is now. Just do not double stack. You're giving him individual plays. Daffo shredding through KDS, and now he has to deal with Souls. I like Daffo's chances here. I like him an awful lot. EMR versus Slug Shotgun. Which one comes out ahead? Sidearm in. Pistol out. Daffo wins it. You gotta be kidding me. A rare bit of mistakes from FaZe Clan.
Not exactly sure where he wanted to go with this. Could go up the blue stairs. Could end up going up West Main. It's Nuxka, actually, who was the first one downed inside a bar, and it might have just been the window position which takes him down. Finally finished off by KDS, only after Cyber is the first one to technically fall.
Losing himself in a safe spot. Big problem with Monty is that his effectiveness lowers the less teammates you have. Oh my goodness. I can't believe Souls did that through these hatches. Not a ton of time to go. Souls watching over top. He doesn't have the kit, so that's okay. Vidiking is looking for his opening. He finds a player over by the pool table, guns him down. Souls dies to Perez, so that might be it for the upstairs coverage. Dark hit with the drive-by over on blue stairs, gets the kill, immediately vacates. Now it's KDS to cover. Time runs out as Vidiking gets killed with a second left on the defuse clock.
Potentially the last round that he'll be able to play this operator. Games control taken pretty quickly from Cyber, of course, using this snake. Also gets the opening, and one more, why not? Dark goes down, and that will be a huge 2K entry from the oldest player in the SAL, getting that early advantage now for FaZe Clan, and getting a lot of space with it, too.
Reloading, cover me.
Incredible stuff, but there's Los trying to keep this close. Dash on the board, down goes Handy. Off that radar. Down goes Dash. Nuxka next will follow. Daffo will need to clutch this one out, Jesse. Cyber killing just about everybody. Look at Dash back from the dead. 50 seconds to go. 2 players remain. They are outnumbered by FaZe 2-1.
Vidiking will take...
Sorry, Jesse, I know you wanted to talk here, but Vidiking just decides to...
value he gets out of it. Not only is it the information in that mid-round...
could have provided some support if need be. A little over a minute still to go in this round. FaZe Clan could go to series point here with a win. If not, we go all 12. Dash outdueled by Handy, an ego challenge from a number of Los players. None of them go in their direction. Dark still keeping this one going, though. He and Daffo last standing, and now it'll be Daffo, the man of the hour, to clutch this one out against 2 players from FaZe Clan. It's been a spirited effort from Los, and Daffo has been inarguably their best player here on Chalet. with that TCSG in hand can happen twice. Flashed out inside the bomb site, on the ground, dancing around it, still flashed. Souls will get the job done.
They're clearly not taking a lot of map control, but they have the map control that they need. A run out from Perez tries to alleviate the pressure, but he loses his fight, Parker. This has been happening all day.
Solus, they can play a little bit more freely. Down goes Dark. He was waiting ever so patiently. Nuxka on the board, and now a fight on the piano window that Cyber wins. Hopes dashed as it's Nuxka and Dafo as the last two standing. I mean, Dafo has been mighty, mighty good, but this might be a bit more for Los to bite off than they can chew. We'll find out Dafo's position in just a second. Down goes Nuxka, and yeah, it's all on Dafo. He dies to Cyber and FaZe Clan.
Go back to one thing that Jesse said that I think makes a lot of sense, and that is the ability for them to go to phase 1, phase 3 CNL teams, phase 2 APL teams, phase the worst NA team, and Falcons, of course.
Just NA.
Yeah, in general, just face weaker opponents where they can actually build international legitimacy, more experience, warm up into the major. I actually think that it might be a good thing for them.
I completely agree with you. I think they will have a lot more to learn from those matches in phase 1